just kind of like sprinkled around about their research and stuff, but for the most part, people were complaining about literally what the podcast was. It's like, I mean, they're not trying to hide it. Their comedy podcast talks about true crime. If you have objections to that, you just, you know, just right off the bat, you don't have to be a fan for years. But anyways, I was, I don't remember why. Oh, there's like a really weird sequence of events. I went to IKEA for the first time ever. And then while I was in IKEA, and I only had, you know, meatballs and stuff, but I also saw just like a ton of David Eddings books, like sprinkled around. And I was like, all right, either the employee that works at this shop likes David Eddings, but, you know, what if Swedes have like surprising fascination with this author? Because weirder things have happened, you know? And this author is the author of a few different series. But I guess, like, famously, the Bulgariad was one of my favorites. It's what got me into reading and fantasy and all that good stuff back when I was younger. It's a very, like, light reading, I suppose. So, anywho. So I looked this up, I Google it. I'm like, is there something weird about Sweden and David Eddings? There's not. Just the employee there sprinkled around books of his in Swedish for some reason. But, unfortunately, what I did find was that apparently him and his wife were really messed up people. Now, it's a little bit more complicated, but basically, back in like the 60s or 70s, because these are old authors, they're dead now. In the 60s and 70s, they adopted a kid. Alright? They couldn't get pregnant, they adopted a kid. They proceeded to keep this kid in like a cupboard under the stairs, like Harry Potter style, except it was like jail bars. And they like seriously neglected and abused the child. So child services came in and took him away, and they had to go to court and all that good stuff. So you can actually find the newspaper clippings of like David and Lee Eddings. And I'm like, well, that's disappointing. Like, that's not what I expected. But the thing that makes it a little more complicated, like, it's obviously still fucked up, and I'm never going to forget that, especially because their books have so many, like, parents-kid relationships. I mean, most books do, of course, but theirs is very specifically, like, the chosen one, basically, is raised by his Aunt Paul, who is actually a sorceress, but there's, like, some real, like, touching moments and, like, family, like, good feeling stuff, basically. It's a light read that is mostly just, like, good versus evil. Simple. So to know that, it's like, okay, this gets fucking weird now. But apparently, like, there's a possibility that they might have actually changed. Now, if you're someone, even if you're talking about the old decades, alright? If you're someone who locks their kid up and malnourishes them and abuses them and shit, like, I don't know how much better of a person you can actually get. You know, before you die. I don't know. But they did, obviously no longer have any, you know, contact with kids. But they also made all of their book sales go to, like, kids, basically. Like, kids' charities and stuff. So, there's, like, a possibility that they were like, hey, were we fucked up? But, you know, how much do you have to do before that's really forgiven, right? Anyways, that's my interesting story. If you are also David Eddings fans, and I'm sorry to have ruined it for you. Yeah. Well, it's the only, like, solace you can take is that if you do end up going and buying the books, they do, all the money goes into, funds for kids. But it's pretty fucked up, you know? You first read it and you're kind of expecting, because it was like, it may be in the 50s, 60s even, actually. It might have been even earlier, but they're kind of expecting, because it's olden times, that they might have been just a rare case of the government actually stepping in when they, like, hit their kids, right? The old belt buckle. Alright, which I'm obviously not saying is okay, but you would kind of be like, oh, very different time. And actually kind of amazing that the government did anything, because so many kids in the 50s and 60s were, and 70s and 80s and all that were getting, you know, physically abused by their parents. But no, like, this is just like even then it's like, okay, no, it's pretty fucked up. Let's go into Mudas. No, don't mind. Wow. I've been so busy telling my story, I really haven't been paying attention, so... Look at my amazing Overlord coverage in a ZVZ. Do I need to see what's on the way? I don't think so. He didn't 12 pull me anyways, I'm fine. By only reading free web fiction? Yeah, you know, one could argue that you don't buy the books, you just rent them, and it's all Gucci. But we're gonna have to get into the classic, separating the artist from their art, you know, conversation that plagues the internet. Which I don't know if I have the strength to get into. Hey. Oh my god, that's so many things. Why is the Spire in the natural? Why? Actually, I think I'm kind of okay. JK. Like, I'm not, like, super great, but I think I'm kind of okay. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Oh my god! Fuck off! Somehow the third's alive? Hello? Oh my god. Ooh, overlords. Why? Oh, my Spore is so good against Mutus. Wait, that's only one. What? Wait, what? The hatch might be going down. Or not. Oh, I didn't target fire it! Ooh, missed opportunity. Oh, ho 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 ho. It sucks to be him. How in the world did that not die? He just did not think about it, did he? Started to panic as well. Sent far too few hydras across. Oh, now there's a lot of hydras. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I sent that so long ago. Pro. Mute a micro, am I right, guys? Did I not see an army? There you are. Get him! Get him! You bastards, you didn't get him. Woo! Baneling speed. Good thing to have. GG's.